say here on the show, it's always nice to correct the misinformation, isn't it? You know, the things that people put out there, and then really, you know, that sort of particular story becomes folklore. It's the sort of thing that people say, oh, you know, this happened, and it gets repeated around the world, gossip magazines, cited in features, that sort of stuff. So as ever, do give me a little bit of time to explain the, shall we say, rationale, as they often say, behind this particular story, which as ever came out from Prince Harry's forthcoming book, or now out book, whichever way you look at it. You know, it was all leaked out, wasn't it, rather mysteriously over in Spain. But what's the true story behind, again, this particular segment? As ever, stay with me. Hi, good morning. Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to see you. Hope you're all keeping well. You know, one of the things that does make me laugh about this particular book is just how petty it is against certain things. There was none more for me than when, if you recall in that particular segment, Prince Harry was claiming they went along to Kensington Palace and were invited for afternoon tea by William and Catherine, and it was all rather grand, very nice and informal, and seemingly at that point they were all getting on quite well, or indeed, you know, this sort of facade of seeming that they were getting on. As we've told you before, Catherine and Meghan simply have nothing in common. You know, one, some might say, is rather pushy and very career-minded. The other exactly knows the duty and what's required. It's as simple as that. But what really I found amazing was this particular story, which once again is so provable if you can be bothered to go and do some research. If you recall, Harry claims that, you know, as they were looking around their palatial surroundings of the refurbished 1A in Kensington Palace, that's a suite of rooms that the Prince and Princess of Wales have, still acquire, can use from time to time. Apparently it all been refurbished, but not so, of course, Harry and Meghan's. No, not the same though for Harry and Meghan. You see, according to him, Meghan was struggling putting things on her credit card on sofa.com for them to buy for their apartments. You know, they were so impoverished they couldn't get anything. Absolutely ridiculous on two counts, basically, and as ever, let me explain. The bottom line is this: they were in a rush to get their own furniture. The things that they were provided with, they didn't like, they wanted to make their own. Perfectly acceptable, totally understand. But to claim that, you know, nobody was offering any assistance, again, is just ridiculous, because all of those staff that are still angry about being bullied out of their jobs were there to assist. It was Meghan's choice, along with Harry, going along once again in agreement to actually put those things through. But the bigger point about that is this: all the receipts for everything that Meghan bought were then put through the business. That's right, returned back to the palace cashiers. So she was totally refunded. It wasn't like, you know, she'd shelled out this money herself, as of course the narrative that Harry's trying to push. But what's also interesting here is, and a lot of these people fail to mention this, is that at that particular point, particularly when she was over here, for some inexplicable reason, it appears, and as ever we have to say allegedly, that Meghan's mother, Doria, seemingly had some kind of, well, you know, account, settlement, was paid something, perhaps as a chaperone, security, who knows? But whichever way you look at it, Meghan Markle alongside Prince Harry did exceptionally well out of their short time aligned to the British monarchy. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.